brighten up in a second. Hello, I think we're live. Can you guys hear me? Is that good? Hello, Dawn. How you doing?
These are out of it.
Hi. Tigger Bear, Steele Matthews, Jay Brock.
Hi.
Hello, come on. Hey.
Okay. Go back. Let people get in here. Good evening.
Hi.
Hi.
Let's go ahead and say where everybody's from. Obviously, we're in Sarasota, Florida. Let us know where you guys are all coming from. We're doing well. We just had some dinner and kids are, well, the baby's in bed, so just got him.
Yeah, some kids are in bed and we're busy. In Indiana, cool. California, awesome. Vancouver,
London,
Ghana, nice. Grand Island, Southern Illinois, Germany,
Max
Denmark.
Winters, hey.
Nice. New Jersey,
Denmark.
Oh. Let's see, marketer. Make sure you have a phone that's textable for our scheduling department. Maybe that's the problem. We're getting a ton of responses usually through text. So make sure your phone can be text for a response for scheduling. Try that. Otherwise, you should hear back.
If you haven't got a text, then either call back and leave a number that you can be texted from.
Right.
And that's
Yeah.
all right. Well, then we're a little backlogged, but we'll definitely get you a text.
Okay, we'll check on that then. Keep watching. We'll check with the scheduling department.
Okay,
Sorry about that. All right. How many people we have?
Been watching. Gaza has been watching from the UK. You and your sister for a while now. Great content. Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you, Gaza. No, we're all doing pretty well. Yeah.
Sorry.
Using your videos. Spiner says, I use videos to fall asleep because there's some ASMR tendencies. Excellent.
I should put something here. Okay.
From Indiana, enjoy watching your content. Oh, thank you. Athens, cool. I had a patient that was just there. He goes every year to Greece and loves it. Says the food's like just the best. Anyway, your videos are bedtime stories. Oh,
cool. Texas.
Thank you.
Watch your latest video. Oh.
Thank you for the support. Thank you.
Cool. All right. Do you want to tell what we're going to talk about a little bit? We have a little bit of a plan for tonight. And then we'll take questions after we talk a little bit. I don't know how much everyone here knows what's going on. Can you guys hear us okay? How tall are you?
6'1", 6'2", I guess, with shoes on. I mean, maybe close to 6'2", used to be. In the morning, when the discs are all hydrated, definitely over 6'2". Definitely getting older. So we just wanted to talk about a little bit about, we've had about year and a half, summer of 21, we had a patient, she came in and initially had regular care with me and then started harassing and not leaving us alone. And she was discharged as a patient. And it was pretty rough. She started living in the area. She's not from this area. Started living nearby and threatening my family and wanted to be with me and just not good. And so it was, she's been arrested multiple times.
How many, I don't know, YouTube, we haven't talked about it as much. So we've talked more about it on Instagram. If you guys know, we have an Instagram and we started finally talking about it after probably about the 6-month mark when we realized that all of our efforts weren't making this stop. So it's been a rough year because of it.
Definitely had to be a little bit more careful. I wish we've had a very open practice and now it's like, it's getting a little bit, having to change some things, but we love seeing everybody and just keep contacting. If you want to get an appointment, just leave a message and I try to get it back to everybody. But it's just been,
Yeah, so I guess we had never had a stalking situation.
Yeah.
Maybe someone out there, some of you have dealt with a stalker before, but it's been scary and it's been intense and very drawn out and long. So we've been fortunate to be taken seriously. There's been 3 arrests, and this person is currently in jail. And we've been in and out of court all year fighting for our family, trying to figure out what to do and how best to protect the kids and myself. So it's been weird. It's been weird.
Yeah. So just
Hi from
thank you for all the
Trinidad.
support and everything, though, through it all. I know some people have messaged me about all their concerns, and just really thank you for just keeping us in your thoughts. And just my dad's been practicing 38 years. I don't think he's really had anything like this. And
No.
even my sister hasn't really had anything like this. But so.
But yeah, if you have if you're on Instagram, you might have heard about it more. If you haven't, then that's good. But it's what we've been going through. I think you talked about stopping. We contemplated stopping YouTube and all social media because of it.
Just the threats. When you're getting threatened, at least your family's being threatened. It's pretty scary. Anybody can get a weapon, and so just how to protect my family, how to protect myself, but I appreciate.
We appreciate the support, especially on Instagram. So if you've coming over from there, then thank you. Do we feel safe? We do now. At the moment, we're going to have quite a few months of being able to regroup and hopefully move forward with a solid plan once this person is out.
We've got a limited restraining order right now. We're
Yeah.
trying to get a permanent restraining order put in.
Right.
That's the next step we need to do. But as many steps as we can do ourselves. We protected ourselves.
Yeah, we've done everything we can on our end to keep the kids and I safe. But what do you do when the person moves over here and makes claims on something that's not theirs, and then pretty much threatens our whole world? So it was intense and scary for a long time, and exhausting, very exhausting. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. So yeah, if you have any guys have any questions or any
Tell him. Oh, baby, you have to be a threat correcting man. People are. It's a crazy world out there.
Eric, stay prayed up and don't be discouraged. Sorry you're going through this. These situations are unfortunate, but it sounds like you've taken some fruit. Eric, stay prayed up and don't be discouraged. Sorry you're going through this. These situations are unfortunate, but it sounds like you've taken some crucial practical measures. We support you. Thank you so much, Eric.
Thank you, Eric. Yeah. Daniel, oh no, I'm happy your family are safe. Thank you. Yes, we are too.
We are currently, I think, gonna if you do leave a message, should text you back. I think right now we're probably looking at spring, summer is when we're not booking it yet. We usually try to only book maybe a couple months before now. We did book a longer time, and it was just harder from the time we booked, and then people were, just either forgetting or it was difficult getting them in. So I'm trying not to go too far out, but leave a message. We'll definitely, if you leave a message, and then if it's not the same number, leave a number that you can text, and we'll that's the best way we can handle the volume of calls that we're getting. But we appreciate it. Thank you.
Renee M, praying for your family. Thank you. We appreciate that very much. Gaza, no way, man. Family comes first. Always hope this all goes away so you can focus on your future for you and your family. It's 2 a.m. in the UK, so I'm off to sleep now.
Right.
Oh, have a good night. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yep. Blythe, thank you for saying that. We're glad we're okay too.
Our son's asking something.
What?
Well, thank you, Sagittarius. Thank you. She is the best. She works so hard. We have 4 kids, and we homeschool, and and I work quite a bit, and so she does a lot of work. She helps a lot with the editing. She does a lot of work with me, and so she's phenomenal.
Aw.
Carlin's just really special.
Oh, thanks, babe.
She,
There's nothing like a stalker to make you realize how much you have and how much to appreciate your
Yeah.
loved ones. It's been difficult, but it's made us closer. So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. I love you even more now. All right, let's see. Oh, we did hire security. Believe it or not, KW. Yes, we actually did.
For a period of time. We
We-
had
multiple periods. We actually hired a private investigator
Yeah.
too. So we had to do all of that, security and a PI. So, oh, they are super muscular. Yeah, just joining. We were talking a little bit about we've had a stalker this past year that we've been working through. If you don't know, go on Instagram. Instagram's a lot of fun. So I know everyone loves the YouTube, but Instagram's fun too. Head over there and you see a little bit more behind the scenes, a little bit more of our family. So go, what is it called? Follow on Instagram too. We've talked about this stalking situation on Instagram a lot more than
it's
YouTube.
just Dr. Ed McLaughlin, Dread.
Yeah.
McLaughlin, basically.
Dr. Ed McLaughlin. Dread. D-R-E-D. McLaughlin.
That was my nickname. My friends would really call me Dreddy.
Not Eddie.
No, because they knew I was going to be a doctor. So they
Oh,
always like,
Dreddy. Let's see.
prolotherapy. I haven't never done it. Obviously, for myself, I had many patients have just given me their stories on Prolo, so I can only really relate what I've been told. Some people like it. My opinion would be that it does bring nutrients into the tissue, so it can, give the environment for healing, assuming that the nerve is healthy. So if the nerve in the neck is pinched or the nerve in the lower back is pinched, the extremity that usually is, like I have had patients with their ankles or shoulders with prolotherapy, and they can receive some benefit, but in my opinion, it's just sort of a one-time cleaning. It doesn't increase vascularization permanently to the tissue. So there's artery muscles that supply the tissue with blood, and with Prolo, you're just cleaning the tissue, but you're not setting up what we call homeostasis. It's a little pricey, at least from what I've heard. So I like the gua sha because you're actually enlivening the tissue, strengthening the tissue so that it actually becomes self-sustaining and doesn't need constant care. And so that's would be the way I look at it. But I mean, there's nothing technically I'm against it, but I think it does cost quite a bit usually. And I think there's just better ways of treating, say, a rotator cuff or a ankle sprain or a knee. I think there's just better treatments, but I'm not against it, I guess, but that'd be the best answer.
Let's see. Preston, I work offshore. Your videos are what relax me on downtime, and I live in Trinidad. So don't let that job stop you from the good you do. Oh,
I
thank
appreciate
you.
it. Thank you. Yeah, it's just
That's
she's the best.
no. We thought about stopping. We decided not to, but we did think we thought about it because we didn't know what to do for a while. So, but thank you for that support. Susan, definitely will be praying for you, your family, and safety and peace of mind. Thank you so much, Susan. Andrea, greetings from Mexico. I'm glad you and your family are safe. Thank you. Hi.
Adrian asks, hi, Doc, what is your suggestion for correcting a tilted pelvis? Obviously, what's the cause would be the first kind of question. You have to be evaluated. From what I've seen in my office, sometimes tilted pelvises can be from antalgia. So if you have a joint, say, I usually use the ankle sprain analogy is the easiest. If you sprain your right ankle, you'll put your weight on your left ankle to get away from it. And when you say sprain the right side of your lower back, your body will lift your left hip up to take the pressure off this side. So it's a way to get away from pain. So why did the lower back get injured? Perhaps you're sitting too much. Perhaps you're doing exercises that put stress on your lower back. Maybe the middle back's tight. Maybe there's no curve in your lower back. All of those things together put the lower back in an environment where it's under too much stress, and then the avoidance starts to happen. So instead of just trying to manually, force it back down, I believe the best approach is usually to figure out the reason for why the lower back's under too much stress, correct that, and then the body will automatically level that hip again on its own. You don't need to force it. So I hope that helps. Try to find somebody in your area that can look at your posture and understand. There's a lumbar curve, a 45-degree arch that needs to be in your lower back, and when that arch goes straight like a ladder, all the weight goes right down to the bottom. So that usually upsets the last 2 discs in the lower back, the joints in the lower back, and then the avoidance starts to happen. And again, there's many other causes of a tilted pelvis. You can have a short, actual congenital short leg. I'm assuming we're talking just about antalgia, which I would put as a large percentage of reasons why hips are tilted. But you can have a knee problem, you can have a actual hip problem, ankle problem. There's problems in the leg that could be causing the tilted pelvis. Avoidance, but I would say something like 90% of the time, 80-90% of the time, it's because the lower back is in distress, and then avoidance is happening. So
Okay, scroll up a little bit.
Oh.
Go up a little further. Go up a little further.
how this one?
Or does The Rock know he has competition?
We actually looked up
We
the
checked.
people's elbow. It is not.
It is not trademarked.
Trademarked, so-
he knows.
We are working on merchandise, and I want merchandise for myself. Whether hope other people might enjoy it, but I'm like the people's elbow, and I got you, and just
I would
different
like The
ideas
Rock
for.
to come meet your elbow. Are you out there, The Rock?
I'm sure
Don't
Disney
dread.
desire.
I'd like to meet The Rock.
Yeah, just we're working on some merchandise. I just wanted it always for myself. We're working on some
Yeah.
designs right now.
Right now, we're trying to get up designs and logos so that in the new year we
Yeah.
can hopefully
Some cool stuff.
start getting merchandise out, which we think will be
Yeah.
fun.
Be fun.
We'll wear it. Hello.
How to get rid of effusion and edema. So Epsom salt, ice, obviously most direct ways of getting rid of swelling, just to vasoconstrict or draw it through the tissue. Depends on, or obviously what's the cause of why there's edema. You can have a lot of different reasons. You can have, you're sitting too much and the blood doesn't get out of your legs very well. And so the blood vessels leak the plasma, and then that causes lymphatic edema, right? So it depends on what kind of edema we're talking about. Injuries, any type of, when the tissue swells, so think of the cells being sort of tightly packed together, right? And then when the tissue swells, the space allows fluid to then effuse out into the interstitial, right? So it's the swelling that then allows the lymphatic tissue to become filled. So what's causing the swelling? Is it okay to pop my fingers every time? I would the best way is just traction. If you want to just, gently, doesn't hurt your hand. Maybe we'll get a click. Maybe not. Ooh, yes. Just straight traction. I think when you get into like bending and popping, like this, it puts stress on the joint a little bit. And if you just do it occasionally, it's not going to probably hurt anything. But if you continually popping a joint, especially if it doesn't feel good or it hurts to pop it, the joint will grow. It's sort of like a muscle. If you overwork a muscle, it grows. If you overwork a joint by continually popping the joint, the bone is under stress. More physiologically, it's the acid. The acid attracts calcium. So negatively charged acid attracts positively charged calcium from your blood. That's what then grows the bone. So it's getting rid of the acidity. So when you feel pain, that's acidity. The acid in the joint then causes the calcium to be magnetically pulled from the bloodstream, bone spurs. Range of motion will then become limited over time. So I would you're trying to clean the joint without stressing the joint. If that makes sense.
Peter, go up a little bit.
No.
Oh, wait, go down. Hang on. Oh, sorry. I lost it.
It's stuff here you take.
Oh, okay.
I'm
We're trying to hit
making
everyone's
all sorts of examples with fluid.
fluid coming out. All right, Peter. Hello. I love to watch your videos and your sister's videos. You make me want to see a chiropractor.
Very cool.
Good. Glad you watched. Thank you.
Mhm.
Fox 7. Ola. Hello. Love. Glad you and your family are safe. Sorry you and the family went through this. Thank you so much. We're happy right now too, and it was nice we're going to have quite a few months of peace, we believe. So that's a nice break. Spinner, Bork 457. You want to read that one?
Does gua sha have any cons? Spinner asks, because I don't know if it's used in Germany, Europe. Any cons? I mean, mainly maybe if you want to not use it right on the acute phase. So if you have a brand new injury, it's more about the timing of when you use it. I mean, obviously have the tissue, have some lotion, have some oil on the tissue. Don't be, you can burn your skin. I mean, but cons, I'm thinking of anything you wouldn't do with it. On brand new injury, probably just ice, Epsom salt. Then after 72 hours around the wound, sometimes you don't even have to work directly on, like let's say a sprained ankle or even a cut. You can work around the area to bring blood through it. So there's times that I wouldn't use gua sha, but because it's like putting heat on something that's already swollen or pouring gasoline on a fire. So there's times where you shouldn't use it, which would be I guess a con, but it does a lot for expediting and speeding up the process of getting the tissue to regenerate. So our body doesn't really heal, it replaces. So you need blood flow, nutrients, and nerve flow for that replacement to occur. And if the tissue is, say, really stiff, let's say your back is tight, and so there's not much circulation, you want to try to get blood in there, and that could be the bottleneck. Now, if there's a disc injury, now you might have a nerve pressure issue that's causing the bottleneck, or, not too much nowadays, but, for many years, about hundreds of thousands of years, nutrient deficiency were huge. And we can quibble about, fast food and all that, which is eat whole foods. But I think the main thing that I see in my practice is not so much, it is a piece, but the main facets are nerve and blood flow as being the limited problem, not so much, the nutritional part. But thank you, Angel. Everything you went through made you and your channel stronger. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. GC, good day from Australia. Hi, it's good day.
Wow.
Australia.
You're like in the future. Like what is it now there? It's probably
is it there?
It's probably like tomorrow evening.
Back to the future.
We're in the past, man.
Hard way one, hit the thumbs up.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Harvey. Was diagnosed with, Jenny says, was diagnosed with spondylolisthesis and disc degeneration in my neck. Should I avoid adjustments? Try PT, MFR, massage, acupuncture, the mid-back and neck is still painful. So the area that has the spondylo, I'd hope that people would leave that alone. The discs are going to age at a faster rate. I kind of quibble on the word degeneration, but if that's the word they're using, I call it accelerated aging. But the main thing is that there's a ligament injury that allowed that to happen. So for people that don't know, a spondylo is where the vertebrae, they all should be stacked. And when you have a spondylo, the vertebrae are actually sliding. And so that cushion that's in between is now getting a grinding force on it. That ages the disc at a faster rate. Generally, chiropractic biophysics, what they've shown with x-rays and imaging with the Denerol and with the cervical curve is that when you bring the arch back in the spine, a lot of that spondylo will go away. So the vertebrae will actually realign back up. It gets worse in flexion. So if they've done imaging on you, you might notice, Jenny, that on the chin down picture, it actually, the spondylo is more misaligned. It's a little bit in neutral and maybe even goes away in extension. So the idea is to close the wound, like a cut on your skin. You want to close that wound. So I would seek out postural work, cervical lordosis work, and work centered around diverting stress away from that area that's injured. So any care focused on that area that's injured, I don't see how it helps because it's just further stressing that tissue. Okay, it just keeps stressing out that area. So I would, if the care seems to be, making that area move more, I'd be careful. But again, without knowing more specifics, I would usually not massage the area that's injured. I would work around it to divert stress. But I had a guy who was in a hammock, probably a late teenager, maybe early 20s. He was just in a hammock, and I had an X-ray of him like a month or two prior. One of the strings on the hammock broke, and his bottom went straight down on the floor. And then I took another X-ray of him, and then I saw a spondylo. So it was something. And he didn't have that much pain from the hit with the ground, but it was enough that I took another X-ray, and that that tore the ligament. And over a period of care, the more we got his curve back in his body, the less that spondylo, he would even noticed it, and the misalignment went away. So that's how I would treat that. Oh, if I move it. Got a lot of questions here.
I think.
Here's this one.
I mean,
What's your dream for?
Can you?
I just like I've been treating people a long time before
Whose question are you asking?
this one.
Oh, go ahead and read it. And Maria.
Okay, so Marie asks, "What's your dream for chiropractic? These videos educate the public. Is there something more you want to do?" I've always just liked. I got into the relationships. I love working on people. I like seeing people's lives change. So before I even did YouTube, I probably 13, 14 years I practiced before I even did YouTube, and it's really cool to see the changes that you can bring into someone's life. And Ed, I don't even remember what I came in with, and I can do things that I've never been able to do. So that's what I like doing. So just doing that more is just the most rewarding experience. Just to and then people then tell their friends, and that's how my practice grows.
Do you want to maybe
She always wants me to write a book or something.
Right. Do you want to teach one day, like at a school?
There's certain things that I've thought about.
Write a book? Do you want to do a podcast? Do you want to do?
There's information I'd like to share at like a seminar that I'm not sure my profession talks about too much, but it's probably not something I could have the ability to talk about right now. But there's definitely ideas that I've had that I don't see being taught at the seminar level that I think my profession could benefit from, that I've seen. It's just there's no focus on certain things. But I guess it'd be a 10-minute conversation to go over what that is. But
if you wrote a book, what do people want
it could
to
be
read?
in a book. It could be in a book. Yeah, it could be explained as briefly as I could. I used to take pictures of people's spines that had no pain. So most times imaging is taken only of areas that hurt. And I used to take pictures of people's spines that had no pain. And the cliff notes is that I saw some horrible things in areas that had no symptoms. And I don't know if that's really documented very well. And then the explanation for that, how do I explain, right? I have a person with a less looking bad image that's in a lot of pain, and a person with a terrible looking image that's in no pain, right? So we put so much value on the image. My profession does, medical profession does. And I just want to have a little bit of, hey, there's something else we're missing here. The soft tissue component that I get into a little bit on my channel, the inflammation, the gua sha, all that is a big piece of pain that can't be measured. So I call them the immeasurables. It's this category of what constitutes pain, but that we can't quantify. There's no blood test, there's no imaging, and so therefore it doesn't exist. And that's a little rough, but let me see if I can.
We'd like to get to a lot of people's questions. Some, he just can't answer because he can't really give medical advice through the screen. So we can be vague. We can give ideas, but some of them it's like,
come into my office and we'll talk.
You need to get an appointment.
So people with lower back surgery, obviously you don't want to adjust the area that's injured. You want to work on the original cause, which is usually the middle back, the loss of curve. And so I would recommend people to seek professional help in their area, and hopefully doctors that are looking for the cause of why what happened to your spine happened, and not just treating the areas that are injured.
Adrian, thanks for the advice, Doc.
Oh, thank you, Adrian. Yep.
You're welcome. Barbara, just joined the chat. Why is my screen black?
Uh-oh.
I don't know. Why would your screen be black? Check your video, your camera.
Maybe you're zoomed into my shirt.
Maybe does it turn white?
Neck edema. I have osteophytes. Starshine says I have osteophytes and disc bulge. Also scoliosis superior. Thanks for your suggestion. Thank you.
Let's see.
Happy Christmas. Merry Christmas, Starshine.
So yeah, Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Rosie asks, okay, adding to the gua sha question, what do you do with it and what is it for? So
why do you do?
Why do I do gua sha? It's to me, it's an expediter. speeds up the process of getting the tissue to replace, right? So it's like watering a plant kind of idea. It's like, why do you do that? Well, not only does the plant need it, but a lot of times the tissue is too dry. Now you can, I haven't really run into it, but if you kept on gua shaing way too much, maybe you could overwater the plant, if I stay with that analogy. But I use it to speed up tissue replacement. Usually the body, when you have an injury, tightens it up so much because it's expecting another injury. So we use the gua sha to dilate the tissue, to get the healing process, the replacement process to speed up. So to give you an idea, it would be something like if an injury was going to take 6 to 8 weeks to heal, you can get it done in like 2 to 3 weeks, perhaps with introducing gua sha. It speeds up that process. I can give you a quick example. I had a patient with, I call my black belt patients, back completely clean, couldn't make a mark on his back, been coming in for years. He picks up a television, one of those old, 150-pound televisions, pulls a rib out of his back. He comes in that day. I gua sha over an area that I think I saw him in the morning. So he came in the morning, back was clean. Comes in the afternoon after picking up the TV, hurt his back. He's now got about a dollar bill sized mark right over the area he's pointing to, right? So that morning, no mark. Now he's got a mark. That's the injury. Now, if he hadn't been a patient that had been with me for a long time, I probably would have just, maybe iced it more. But I knew that his tissue was pretty clean already, so it could handle some gua sha. And the next day he came in, the mark was gone. He was a new man. We're talking almost, it's like if your kitchen's clean and you make a mess, you can easily clean it up, versus a kitchen that's filthy and then you have a mess that adds on top of it. So now you have multiple things to deal with. So it's a way to, like, almost like brushing your teeth, a way to keep the tissue clean. So maybe one way you can look at the gua sha tool I look at is like a toothbrush. It's just a tool for cleaning the tissue. So Charlotte asks, my husband has osteogenesis imperfecta, brittle bones, and has over 50 bone breaks. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. He broke his thumb a couple days ago, but finds me popping spots more painful. Wow. I mean, that I would need more information. That's tough.
Rough.
That's really tough. Yeah,
Wow.
I would need to examine and treat. That can be difficult for any person, any professional. But I have a lot of sort of exam things I'd have to check out before I give you any advice on that one. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Hello from Wisconsin, Northwoods. Thank you for the live chat. Thank you for being here. My question is, why don't more chiropractors massage their patients during their visit? From what I see in the video, it's very important. It is. I think it, my black belt patients, people that have mastered everything, have mastered the dental roll, they don't need as much time. So a lot of my videos, people are, either like haven't been worked on in a long time or limited care. And so I'm sort of building the house from the foundation up. Why other chiropractors don't, that has a lot of different answers. One, they might not want to. Two, they might not be able to. I think.
3, they might not know the benefits
might not know.
of it.
I can give you my journey and what my father's journey was, where I think of it like a bolt on a car, right? So if you're a mechanic and you have a rusted bolt, right, and you go to turn the bolt and it doesn't turn, right? Do you just give up? No, you might get some oil, right? Some penetrating oil, and try to loosen up the threads and maybe let it soak for a couple hours, right? Or maybe I'm not a mechanic. Maybe you blowtorch the bolt, right? Heat it up, or maybe you freeze the bolt, and you're trying to loosen up the threads so that you can actually get the bolt to turn. So the vertebrae in your spine are like that. I use the deep tissue work in conjunction with the adjustment to get a better adjustment. And that took my dad at least 10, 15 years to discover that. So, and then my dad's a pretty mechanical guy. He is a mechanic, basically. I mean, he works on cars. My dad had like 15 motorcycles. Me growing up, I used to be a kid, and my dad take apart everything: lawnmowers, vacuum cleaners, Xboxes. My brother had a red ring of death on his Xbox 360. My dad's taking the thing apart. It's a great story. My dad never throws anything away. He's of that like mindset, never throw anything away. And I think the Xbox 360 had that red ring of death. My dad takes it apart, can't fix it. He throws it away. I was so proud of him. I was like, Dad, thank you for throwing away your Xbox. Instead of putting up in his garage in the attic to be thrown away by me in the future. Anyway, the next day, Xbox extended the warranty on all Xbox 360s. And of course, now my dad's like, you see, that's why you don't throw anything away. I was like, Dad, no, it's just that one time. It's just one time, Dad. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen again. So now it's like he uses that as justification. I never throw anything away. But I'm working on it.
More information.
Tangent. We do lots of tangents. We have fun.
When he
I
starts talking, it's like,
It makes editing. It makes our editing a little. It's like, oh, daggone, why'd you talk like this?
Grateful Monk. I think I said it, but hi Ed. After your last live stream, I've been seeing a CBP advanced certified doctor in my area and getting very good results.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Well,
As
thank
much
you.
as I want to get gua sha from you, I know my issues will take time to resolve. That's really good.
Keep it up. Yep. So asymmetrical neck, Spiner Bork asks, what's advice on asymmetrical neck muscles? One side is nearly, so you can have a couple, I mean, there's a lot that could be going on. Obviously you can have favoritism, you can have nerve pressure. So if the nerves upset, the muscles on one side can be getting, essentially, you can have an atrophy on the side that's the nerves are pinched on, and the muscles are normal size on the other side. If it's one-sided use, work, activity, it can be injury that's causing postural shifts. So you're using one side of your neck more because you're avoiding another side that's been injured. So trying to get to the source, I would recommend trying to at least have somebody try to figure out if there's a curve in your neck. These are basic things. The lumbar and cervical lordosis is pretty much the foundation of my office. Understanding that curve that we had when we were a year old, that we lose, and just very little healthcare in America for understanding spinal health. It's almost just non-existent. We react to problems in America. There really isn't any preventative healthcare. It's all reactive care. So, Goat says, love your channel and the quality time you give to your patients through Rosary Health. So informative. My wife and I are thinking of paying you a visit from Rosary. Okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah, very cool.
Awesome. Grateful Monk.
Oops.
Again. We lost it. Well, I think you're far.
Oh, no, here we go.
Yep.
Getting back. Oh, there we go. I'm back there. There we go. I'm back.
Okay.
I'm going on a general. This is Starshine. Going to physio exercise program in the hospital tomorrow. I'm going to. Wow, I'm sorry. I wish I would try to find a postural. A lot of the chiropractic and most of the medical world is going to treat the symptomatic area. They don't really go to a approach of why did that happen, right? So why did L4, L5? L4, L5 is 99% of back surgery in terms of the lower back. So if it's age that causes, if it's wear and tear, well, why don't we see much L1 disc injury, right? So it's not aging. It's not wear and tear. Why aren't we having any wear and tear in our T5, T8, T10, right? We always have L4, L5. And so that has to do with alignment and mobility, right? So posture, work that you do, sitting, driving, injuries, right? Those are what's putting the stress on that area, and any therapy potentially might just continue putting stress on it. So it's tough. I'm so sorry.
Some people, Caleb, love your channel. Thank you. Never too much. Did you read those?
I have 4 children. I'm working on raising more chiropractors though. I'm going to spread them around the United States.
Some people said thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Pyre or something.
Love your channel, Caleb. Thank you.
Move to San Francisco
Oh,
Bay.
okay,
We should visit.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Caleb, have you thought about franchising?
I mean, it's always, you think about stuff like that, but it's
That's a lot.
a lot. And then,
How do you train people to be like you?
I promise that you'll find nobody by me. It's getting people to want to do what I do. I think a lot of times I'll talk to chiropractors in my profession or at seminars, guys that I graduate with. I'll tell them what I do, and they're like, "Yeah, I don't want to do that." So, it's tough from maybe that perspective. I get worked on myself 4 or 5 times a week. I get adjusted a lot, and if I wasn't adjusted by my father, my sister, my brother, we do a lot of work on each other, and so that keeps me physically able to do the work that I do, and the stretching, obviously. But I'm very blessed that I've had care from the beginning. I think chiropractors that haven't had good care, doing the work that we do is pretty hard on their bodies. I mean, I know it's hard on my body, but and there's things you can do to manage that. But if you don't have a lot of chiropractors don't get good chiropractic care on themselves. My father didn't until he trained me. I remember being a kid, and he was like, I'm gonna teach you how to do this, Ed. And then I was a teenager, and he started teaching me how to adjust. So, it's tough.
Gavaria, I don't know if I said that right. I love you guys. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Taylor, love your content. Thanks. Pat, thank you for your videos. You all make a great team. Oh, thanks for watching. Indiana, awesome. Maria Hutner. Ooh, a book. Oh, Maria, a book would be very informative. Okay, you'd like a book. You should work on a book. I think you should too. I think you should do a general how to care for your spine book, and then one for kids. Kids, how they have books for kids about taking care of your teeth and your body. We need books about spinal care for adults and children. I think you need to do both.
Brush your teeth.
Brush your spine.
That's right.
It's like your dental health.
For massage therapists Brandon asked, for massage therapists looking for chiropractic education, what would you recommend? So is that to become a chiropractor? Is that what that question?
I think so.
So you look at the school that look at the chiropractic school, what their requirements are, what you might already have completed, see what you're missing, in terms of your undergrad. And then usually it's not, I went to Palmer, Florida in Port Orange, but there's an Iowa campus and a San Jose, California campus for Palmer, but there's all sorts of other schools. I think it's more about obviously Palmer, but I don't think it has to be a Palmer grad. There's a lot of pride in which school you go to, but I think it's more about the chiropractor than the school. So I know a lot of guys that are really good that aren't Palmer grads, and it's okay.
Hello from Egypt.
Wow, Egypt. Wow.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you. I think we're able to. Delaney Davis asks, are you accepting new patients, and would you take multiple patients at a time? I think the most that we can see in a day is 2.
So if you a group is 2. Yeah.
Right.
So
we just based on the amount of time that we have to film, we usually do 2 a day. And then there's only certain days that we do it. So just call, leave a message. If there's a different number that you need to text, leave a message that we can text the number. Usually we text the number that is called in.
Oh, and if you come with your husband, you guys can be in the same room. You don't have to not be.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
When you come with your loved ones or friends.
No, they have to stay in the hallway.
You guys can stay
no
in the room
watching. We have a
together.
very closed door policy. I had a professor in college tell me that. I have a closed door policy. It's like, what?
Daryl. Please come to him.
Star's like, your videos make me pine. I feel just better. Oh, thank you.
Aw, I feel better just watching those people get some relief. A lot of people say that when they come in and they finally get treated. It's pretty cool to watch. I agree. It is soothing. So thanks for watching. I'm glad they give you relief from far away. Look. I don't know how to say it.
Lucas.
Thank you for watching them.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Dreadglocks. Sounds like Dread.
Yo, I love your channel, bro. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. Thanks for the support. All right, so KC asks, this tennis elbow in both arms is really hurting. Pain meds and elbow braces are not really doing much. My doctor basically said they can't do anything for it. I take time to heal. Obviously, need a little bit more on the history, what is causing it, if it's activities you're doing, if you're actually playing tennis or just golf, or what physical activities that you're doing. Tennis elbow doesn't self-resolve on its own. It has to be mechanically worked on. And so can we go through that, or how to fix tennis elbow?
What is that?
So you have to compress the attachment back down. So that's a mechanical problem. Assuming that it's not completely avulsed, you do need mechanical work. No transfer friction over the attachment. So for people that don't know, tennis elbow is what we call lateral epicondylitis. So the outside of the elbow, the outside over here on the humerus is the epicondyle, where a lot of the extensor muscles of your forearm attach to the epicondyle there. So you want to, massage towards the elbow and then compress down the attachment. It can be very painful. I've had medial epicondylitis for myself, from working on patients, and I'll, throughout my day, compress down the attachment, but it can be very, you need to have somebody that knows what they're doing teach you how to do it properly. I can't really explain it on the internet, but there is elbow braces. I've had minimal success. Pain meds, you end up just covering up the problem, which then makes the reason that's, the check engine light. It's your body's trying to tell you something's wrong. It's just covering up the light. So it does not self-resolve. That's the basic thing that epicondylitis is. You have to have, it's like a tree that's leaning over. The roots start coming out of the ground. So the tree won't right itself back upright and the roots won't go back down. Somebody's got to pull the tree upright and then panini the layers down. I hope that helps, but it's there is care that can be done on it, but it's maybe they don't, symptomatic guys might not know how to do it. But go back up.
How far did I go? I totally just.
Oh, here we go. Okay. Hi from Ireland. Hey, Thomas. I have pain in my left hip and running down my leg. Is there any exercise I can do for it?
Not enough information, I don't think.
So I would just, yes, there is. I mean, there's lots of different reasons. I mean, if there's a nerve pressure, depends on what, when you're examined, what the cause of that pain is. If it's coming from the hip, if it's coming from a nerve. If it's going down the leg, generally it's going to be, what I see in my office is that you're usually dealing with a nerve, and that's coming from your lower back. So spinal care, lumbar lordosis. Okay. I got 2 degenerative duty. So, to answer this one, usually know what you do. The gua sha is usually pretty mild pressure. I know sometimes it's hard to see how deep I'm going with the gua sha, but it's about, I would consider it mild to medium, a lot less pressure than my elbow. You're not trying to, take the skin off, but clicking the bicep tendon, Caleb asks, you can have there's a lot of different things you can have going on there. Injury, there's a surfactant, sort of like a lubrication that the tendon has. So all the tendon that sits in the groove can be, if that tendon gets dried out, it can be clicking as it's catching on some bone in there. That can fray the tendon. That lubrication comes obviously ultimately from the nerve, keeping the tissue healthy, but you can have repetitive injury that's drying out that. So you need care on the area. What is it?
Sorry.
What?
I'm monitoring stuff as we sit here. So.
All right. Space Girl says, obsessed with you and your sister's videos. I have love that you genuinely care. Decided to go back to college because of you guys. Oh, thank you. Who's it? Somebody's messaging her. Who is it? I'll find out.
Okay.
L1 and C2 is so degenerate in my back. Interesting. KC. Okay. I'd have to see that. I'd have to, treat that and see the pictures and what's going on in your situation. It's hard for me to say over the internet what's going on, but try to seek care in your area if you can. How many siblings do you have and how many are chiropractors? I have 2 siblings, older sister, Dr. Brenda Mondragon. She's 16 months older than me. So we were pretty much, people thought we were twins.
Dr. Mondragon. You guys know Mondragon.
Dr. Brenda
Everybody
Mondragon.
knows Mondragon.
Yeah, so she's the best. She was the boss. Yes. And then my younger brother just graduated last December. He's a chiropractor, and he's just starting his practice now in the Claremont area near Orlando. And so he's doing good. Finished up taking all his boards, got all that done. Whew, what a stressful time. Probably a little more gray coming out. Okay. I think she's got to go for a second. Just stuck with me. Had a yoga injury, starshine, ankle swelled, I hopped a boot. And the hospital gave me a year. Then one morning the disc exploded. Hurt. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Hi from Canada. You are my favorite chiropractor on YouTube. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank Max Palmer. Love your videos. Thank you. Should I see a chiro after a car wreck, even if I'm not in pain? Yes, you definitely want to, you can have an injury and then go into avoidance. So you might not be in pain because your body is compensating. So you don't want to heal crooked or heal in a bad alignment. Everybody likes the back scraping.
Yeah.
Hello from Kentucky.
Carson? Hi. I have family in Kentucky. I love Kentucky. All right. Simi, do you play any sports? Sunshine.
Do I play sports? Now with 4 kids, I do a lot of soccer with Ethan. He's about 8 years old, so we do a lot of playing with that.
You don't play sports at the moment.
Yeah.
Chiropractic.
I work a lot.
Elbow. Rides motorcycles. It's not really a sport. No, it is if you do it like on the track. You don't do that.
I have a patient who wants me to off-road dirt bike with him. Like
it's very much a sport if you're like
he crashes a lot,
racing,
and I'm like, I can't afford an injury. So, do you recommend? Angel says, do you recommend sleeping on a wedge pillow for your back? I recommend having support for your cervical curve. So you want support without your head being pushed too far forward is the best. The therapeutic pillow I've used myself for a good period of time. There is a Deneral pillow now that I think you can buy yourself. I don't think you have to go to a chiropractor to buy it. It's called the DENNE roll pillow. But the Tempur-Pedic is a good pillow too. Great pillow. The Deneral has a little bit more features in terms of letting you stretch a little deeper. If you're under chiropractic care, it's meant to be used with care. The Tempur-Pedic is sort of maybe a good pillow if you're not under supervision. But yeah. Are there any chirocyclists that you know? I would check out idealspine.com. Is Chiropractic Biophysics' website. They might have, I think they have a doctor finder on there. Look on that doctor finder if there's anybody nearby. You can call them, ask them if they do hands-on work. So you're looking for hands-on work. They do a lot of gadgets and stuff like that. They can observe care. Do you have any videos? Probably not.
Do you have any videos?
Sorry, the chat's been bugging out here a little bit. Have you ever broken anything? Noble asks. I have never broken anything. No. I was in a swimming pool for many years. Yes. I did state Olympics, qualified for National Olympics, Junior Olympics when I was 12, 13. But yeah, hard to break a bone if you're swimming all the time. 4 hours a day I was swimming. So no, my wife has never broken a bone despite
I am way more hardcore than him, though.
she's,
I should have broken bones,
she should have broken some stuff, but
but I did not.
she's pretty amazing.
I broke my muscle.
Our kids, on the other hand,
Our kids, 2 of them have broken bones.
some orthos here in town have made some money.
Yeah. We don't know how that is because you and I never broke bones, but 2 of them have broken bones. Left clavicle and then arm.
One was a slip and fall, right?
Slip and slide,
Slip and slide,
and then a monkey bar.
and then monkey bar.
Yeah. I don't understand that, but they have broken bones. All right, let's see. Get some mad skills, babe. How long did it take to become as skilled as you are? S4.
I mean, your palpatory, let's just start with palpation. Your palpatory takes at least a few years to just be able to feel, sometimes I feel like it's so obvious, like it's right there. Can't you guys see it? Because I can feel it, but I know on camera, it's hard to show you guys. It becomes very obvious after you palpate for a couple of years. I remember my first couple of years, I would have to palpate with my hands. I'd elbow with my elbow, and then I couldn't feel something. I'd have to feel it with my hands and then keep alternating back and forth. And then pretty soon, after a couple of years, I could just feel everything through my elbow. So you don't really look at your elbow as being a very sensitive structure, but I promise you can train your elbow to feel a lot. And I didn't really fully understand how well I could feel through my elbow until I started training it.
Devin, thank you.
Devin, yes, thank you.
Have you ever broken a person like I'm your job?
Like I'm your job. Like on your job, maybe.
On your job, yeah.
No. No. You definitely have, you can have adhesions that break loose, right? So many times on the front part of people's rib cages, they can have between the cartilage and their ribs, there can be glue in there. And so when you bend people back, that'll open up and it'll feel like a broken bone, but it's not a broken bone, but there can be, some clicking going on in there. But no, I've never broken a person.
The bow move makes it sometimes look pretty intense, but it's good for people.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Let's see. Maria.
Was she homeschooled? No, she was not.
I forget how to spell your wife's name. Oh, it's different. Karlyn. Were you homeschooled also? No, I was not homeschooled. I went to a private school for a little bit, and then I was public school. So public school for a long time. I asked my parents to homeschool me, though, but because I didn't like it.
And I was asking you to go to public school.
Right.
You always want what you can't have.
Right.
It's the life.
But I do homeschool our kids now, just because it works.
The grass is
for
always
us.
greener. It's what they have.
Right.
Bye,
Boom. Hey, Dr. Ed and Mrs. Hi. Just wanted to say you literally changed my life. Never felt healthier. Inspired me to study chiropractic to spread this care and love for others.
Excellent.
That's
Oh, that's
awesome.
awesome.
Aw, very
Thank you
cool.
for sharing that. Thank you.
Good luck on your journey.
Mm.
Yeah. Do you want to say that?
Mm-mm.
I don't know how to say the name. Guillaume. I don't even want to try because I'm afraid I'm going to mess it up. I'm curious. Do you want to read it?
Yeah, I'm curious. Do you have a long waiting list since you are popular on YouTube? How long does it take to see you? If you called this week and we put you on the list, I think we have something like it'd be this summer, spring summer is probably where you'd be of 23 is where we probably would eventually be able to book you. We're not booking right now, but we're putting people on waiting lists and then contacting them when we're about a few months out, just so we don't have this huge amount of time from when we book it and when you actually can come in.
Yeah, we're trying to get through the waiting list, and it's just hard. It's just hard to hit everybody, but everyone who's on the waiting list will get a call at some point.
Yeah. I have a regular practice that I see quite a bit of people in, and then the YouTube is just a portion of my practice. And so,
Right. Yeah.
Uh-oh. We got Stephanie Martin asks, how did you meet your lovely wife?
Stephanie or Stephanie? Maybe that's it. It's not Stephanie.
Uh-oh.
No, I don't know.
Stephanie?
How do you say her name? I don't know.
Sorry.
Sorry.
How did you meet your lovely wife and what is her name? This is Carlin. And we met when I was at chiropractic college. It was.
I was becoming a chiropractor.
Yeah, no.
Just kidding. I wasn't.
Yep.
We
met her at her church. I was new to the area, obviously started chiropractic college, met her at her church, met her whole family, and kept asking her out for quite a bit. And she rejected me for
No, I didn't reject you. I didn't. I didn't reject him. I told him I had to get to know him a little bit more. But I wanted to go out with him. I just felt like I had to get to know him more.
I asked her to go to Universal Studios. And she's like, you mean with the whole group? Yes. Yes, I did.
I had never dated anyone until him. And so when he asked me out, I was like, I didn't know what to say. I thought we had to be friends for a little bit before I went out with him.
Oh yeah, we dated throughout, and then we got married before we left there to come back to Sarasota.
Right.
So that was in Port Orange, Daytona Beach area.
Ormond Beach.
Ormond Beach area.
Yeah. He was in Port Orange. I was in Ormond.
At the school there, and then I moved back here in 2007. So about 15 and a half years ago, moved back here, and it's been great. Yep, I grew up here in Sarasota.
We're both. Well, I was born in.
She's
Florida.
a Floridian, but
I am a Floridian.
She needs the air conditioning way too cold. I don't know. It's so hot. It's Florida. Of course it's hot.
I love air. Do a backflip.
Do a backflip. I can't do that. I can't. Into a pool maybe, but
Yeah. You can try.
so I treat
designs company AMAJ.
Maj Designs asks, hi, how are you guys? I hope all is well. Do you have any recommendations to relieve lower back pain in the second trimester of pregnancy? So I treat a lot of pregnant women. Gosh, I have like maybe 5 right now I'm treating, just over the years, and my wife throughout all 4 of our pregnancies. So, maybe she could speak better on but yes, there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of, they usually are just like, let me worked on, and you can just leave it. I just like laying on your table. The table allows their belly to have space to be in. They can be on their belly. But usually just, as your body's loosening, all the progesterone's loosening up all the ligaments in your body. So there's a lot of instability. You can have old injuries that the progesterone is loosening up. So sometimes you'll have pain just because areas that were frozen are opening up. A back brace.
One of those belly, they make braces for pregnant women. And even if you get care, I wore one towards the end, especially when I had to do like cleaning. It just helps stabilize the area. Yeah. But seeking care to get checked out to figure out the reason why it's hurting, but there can be many reasons why it's hurting, including the pregnancy and the weight of the baby and the uterus. But a back brace did help. I forget the one it was one made for pregnancy that I wore. So what are you reading?
Space Girl.
Me?
M asks, hey doc, I'm completely stiff due to sitting down for long periods of time thanks to the job. To fix myself, I feel super tight. Yeah, they found within 10 days of a joint not moving that joints due to sitting down for long periods of time thanks to the job. To fix myself, I feel super tight. Yeah, they found within 10 days of a joint not moving that joints become frozen. They can lock down, and so there's crystals that form in the joint. Mobility is what washes it out. It's tough because you'll whittle your team down to a small amount of your back that actually works, and so then you end up injuring potentially one of the few parts that actually functions. Seek care. Start with self tissue work. Try to find a chiropractor. Find somebody that's interested in. Find out somebody that's interested in working on you mechanically.
Did you see the Elbow of Truth one? Did you go back up?
Oh.
Oh.
Angel says, Dr. Elbow is the truth. Could
Or
watch
Dr. Ed's elbow is the truth. That's funny. Could watch a there are some compilation videos
she's made some.
of the elbow. I love the elbow work. I didn't realize until I videoed you what your elbow work looked like. I didn't even know until we were doing these. I mean, I felt it on my back. I just had never seen how awesome it looked.
I'd come home and she'd be like, "Why are you so tired?" I'm like,
No.
I don't think she knows what I've been doing all day.
I just remember videoing you when we started, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that looks really cool." Lose biceps. No, it was fun. It looked cool. I didn't realize how cool it looked. I felt it. It's intense, but his elbow's amazing. It's awesome. Awesome elbow.
So I usually, what happens if a patient breathes out at the wrong time? It's called, people hold their breath all the time. It'll make it sometimes harder to get an area to adjust. So when you exhale, it forces the diaphragm to relax. So we're trying to be on the exhale to relax the area that we're trying to adjust. It just maybe won't move, but it doesn't really. It's like interception. It keeps it from moving properly. Is an infrared heating pad good for your back joint muscles? Sometimes, gosh, if tight areas are tight to protect something, you don't want to necessarily get rid of protection. So again, if it's a postural reason that something's tight, then, yes, the tissue itself, say the muscles like it, but, are we getting to the real cause for why the muscles are tight? So you can have protective spasms. And so if an area is tight to protect something, do we really want to get rid of that protection? So we got to be careful sometimes. Everybody, is a little different, but I would, need to see case by case. So Devin Shoulders asks, how do you tell the difference between a short spinal cord scoliosis and if you have a tethered cord syndrome, stuck cord? So those are very similar. It's a good question. A lot of the structural scoliosis, so there's two scolioses we're talking about here. We have functional and structural. Functional is something hurts and your body's tilting and going into avoidance, and you create a false scoliosis in an avoidance posture. So that would be not a true scoliosis, a temporary one because you're in pain. So you could have, if you want to call it a short spinal cord really would be tethered. So sorry for everybody that I'm sort of skipping here. Structural scoliosis is because as you're growing when you're a teenager, the distance between your head and your tailbone is increasing. So the bones are growing. Inside your spinal column is your spinal cord. And if the spinal cord can't grow as fast as the bones, then the spine will buckle laterally to alleviate pressure on that cord. They've taken people with structural scolioses and tried to pull their spine straight. And they actually show that the brain actually gets pulled into the neck. The medulla starts to get pulled into the neck. And so that would be the tethered cord. And I actually get constant headaches. And you can achieve that with deep flexions like rabbit pose in yoga. That'd be quite a long answer to answer that question, but it's a good question. Do you still adjust babies and infants? I adjust my kids all the time. He adjusted them since hours old.
Yeah, he adjusts babies and
they come out with asymmetries. All of my kids have come out favoring whatever side they rotated to, and if you watched me adjust a child, it would be, people might even look at me and go, "Is that it?" I mean, they're very, very gentle, but you're just trying to balance them, right? So they have favoritisms, and imagine if you were cooped up and rotated to one side for a period of time, how it might be difficult turning to the other side. So it's not hard to change it and fix it at the young age because they're so supple. All right. Oh, very cool. Abraham releases.
So Abraham, maybe you've never been to Florida, maybe? Bring sunscreen. Fly spray, or not fly spray, but mosquito repellent.
Yeah, I definitely. I'm a pinhole cushion. A lot of mosquitoes around here.
Best pieces of advice for someone who's traveling.
Yeah, wonderful beaches.
Yeah, advice is
Check out Siesta Key.
Look at the area and see some reviews
Definitely.
on. Decide what you want to do.
Check out Siesta Key if you can. It's really fun.
Yeah,
out there.
Siesta Key. I mean,
Lido.
Sarasota.
St. Albans.
If you're going to go to a theme park, there's Busch Gardens in Tampa, Disney in Orlando, if you're going to make it a whole trip. But yeah.
What advice would I give to someone that wants to be a chiropractor? Have fun, get at it. I think you'll love it. I think working for yourself, it's quite a bit of time investment to get through chiropractic, your undergrad and then chiropractic college. But I think you find it to be very rewarding. You can develop the relationships that you'll just remember your rest of your life. It's just a lot of fun. So I would encourage anybody to go through the training and
Study hard.
yeah.
Study hard.
So inversion, I think there's just, you don't have to invert to get traction. And I don't know if it's the best. There's one, in my opinion, Starshine, about a teeter table. Just, I think you can traction with extension. So with the Denerol, getting the back into the arch, the down slope will actually traction by using just a fulcrum, right? So if your back is on your back here and you're arching your back, the down slope is actually tractioning. So you place the fulcrum higher than where you want to have it traction, obviously with chiropractic care, and then there's different things you can do with your hands to push on your thighs and traction a little bit, but you don't need to invert is the way I look at it. And then we don't want the spine to be straight or ortho. We want it to be lordotic. So.
Let's see. Hang on. Go back up.
Oh, good night, Maria.
Yeah, good night, Maria.
Thank you for
Thanks
joining.
for coming.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Hi, North Dakota. Welcome.
Well, thank you.
Devin. Thank you, Devin. And his question is, what is the most best thing you've ever got for Christmas?
All I want for Christmas.
We were married right before Christmas.
Yes.
So what was your best gift, Devin?
My car.
Is that Christmas?
Well, I mean, the best gift for Christmas.
Like as a kid, what was your best Christmas gift?
I remember being a kid, get
Chiropractic.
Sonic 2 for Sega Genesis. Oh, I was so happy when I got that. But yeah, ever. Okay. Quake 2 when I was in high school, when I was like in 12, 13. I'm a gamer. I love any video games that I got back when I was a kid. System Shock. It's good games. But it's just nerdy stuff like that but best gifts,
Quake.
video games. Yeah, did a lot of gaming. Still do.
He's a gamer. Stephanie, do you have time, your wife and you, I don't know if we're saying it right, to do sports? So I ride horses, so I do that. And he rides motorcycles. So when we have the time, our girls ride horses too. So we try to do that. And then motorcycles is though not really quick.
Yeah.
Nate, I'll try that one.
Any tips on stretching your hip flexors more effectively? The tight hip flexors are usually because we're sitting too much. So ultimately, we got to get to reduction in the sitting. I believe in extension, traction, the roller, just arching your back. A lot of the reason why the hip flexors are tight is because that lumbar lordosis is too straight, and that's the psoas, all the muscles that flex you forward are too tight because of the sitting. So arching back, getting your posture fixed, getting to the root cause of why the muscles are tight is really what I'm interested in versus just, I mean, if you can stretch the muscle, just look up how to stretch the muscles, but it's kind of just temporary if we don't get to the root cause, which is alignment, mobility. Gaming, I used to play a lot of Counter-Strike, high school, a lot of first-person shooters, StarCraft, still do a little bit. Just every once in a while just for some fun. A lot of Diablo 2. Love that game. I like some mods for that game, Diablo 2, Project Diablo. I play a little bit, but I know not mainstream games like Fortnite. No, say no to Fortnite. All my friends play Fortnite. I play a lot of WoW, unfortunately. I play a lot of that for a long time. She put up with a lot of evenings where I had the headset on. All right, guys, stick to the plan.
So Mike, thank you for the donation. Thanks for your videos.
Mike.
I really enjoy watching them. I want to travel to Florida and visit you.
Awesome.
Hopefully
Thank you, Mike.
one day you can. Thank you for the
Thank you, Mike.
donation. Thank you. Awesome.
Thank you, Mike.
He's proof that you can game and do all sorts of stuff still with your
Have
life.
a good setup. There's definitely things you do sitting backwards on a chair. Most gamer chairs are just not like, come on, they got people all rounded forward. Just the problem is, it's obviously when you're designing anything, the stuff that works doesn't cost much, in my opinion. So there's not much. How do you really market something that doesn't cost much money, right? So I think that's maybe why I have disagreements with how some of these gamer chairs put people into a position. 11, right before she goes to
Oh, that's a funny question.
right before she goes to bed, she's like, adjust my neck.
I don't know. What is that? Nutella?
Nutella, yeah.
Nutella? What are the benefits to having a chiropractor as a partner?
Get over here.
Unlimited chiropractic care. Lots of benefits. All right. Abraham, another question. Is there anything I need to do to prepare for my first visit? Is there anything I could do to make it go smoothly?
If you just have fun. I think we usually have a good time. Everybody comes in. I think I'm not scary. I don't bite. We'll have a fun time. And I think it's just
come with a happy.
If you have any imaging you want to bring, you always feel free to bring any imaging or reports. I'm happy to look at them. We go through all history, stuff like that before we start filming. But just CS 1.6, exactly.
May you say who it is?
Byboom says, we have a very similar taste. I grew up with StarCraft and Counter-Strike 1.6. Yes. I used to have the LAN parties in my garage. My friends all brought their computers and we'd hook them all up and spend 3 hours trying to get all the computers to. It was terrible back in the 90s.
Bye, Stephanie.
Oh, thank you.
Stephan. I don't know how to say your name. Martin,
thank you
for coming.
Being here. Appreciate it. I don't get the tapping and jumping about when I use an inversion table, but with towel decompression I do. However, the table my friend gave me, the death trap, so it's going bye-bye. Yeah, I don't. I like the movie Back to the Future Part 2, where I think the grandfather, the father's inverting, and they got him floating around in the kitchen upside down. That's my joke with that, is that if you're going to be on inversion, you kind of have to be on there forever. It doesn't set you up for success when you're not inverted. That's, to me, not to say you can't feel better, not to say you can't get relief. I have to be on there forever. It doesn't set you up for success when you're not inverted. That's, to me, not to say you can't feel better, not to say you can't get relief, and not to say I don't use different types of traction at times to alleviate a nerve that's squeezed. It has times and places, but I think it can be, what is it? Oh, Paul.
No.
Oh.
No, time out.
Time out. Time out, Paul.
Time out. All right, keep going.
If chiropractors designed a perfect
Did you read it?
No, I saw. Father, you're pitting it. I was like,
No, I was trying to get rid of it. We're getting used to live streaming. We have to get rid of bad comments. Sorry, guys. All right, keep going.
all right, so
Ed did not read that comment.
I-
He did not know what was
didn't see it.
happening. I was trying to get rid of it.
I wanted to ask, how does it feel to be a chiropractor? Oh, it's a real privilege. I think when you're taking care of patients, they're trusting you, and you help take care of people. It's a real privilege to be a chiropractor. It's a lot of fun, and I, like I said, my father being a chiropractor, I've just watched my dad care for people my whole life as a little kid. I thought it was normal that your dad was a chiropractor and that patients came in, people came over to the house on the weekends and get adjusted. My dad would adjust people, tables, just anywhere. My dad is a real inspiration for me. So he everywhere. I kind of go places and I kind of turn it off a little bit. Just I observe and look at posture. My dad, he's everywhere he goes, he's working on people. I'll be at a restaurant. I'm like, no, Dad, come on, let's just eat food. Don't.
Just keep going.
Paul's getting.
Stop. Moving on. Augusto, love you guys in your videos. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
See you, Paul.
Hey, wait, you should bring up.
No, not saying it.
Do you guys watch the comments on videos? There's someone out there who keeps asking him to say something
Yeah,
about chicken
yeah,
fingers.
yeah, something.
But he hasn't said
It's
it
gonna
yet.
keep waiting.
We're wondering how long he can persist.
Uh-huh.
Or she. We don't know.
You're right.
He or she.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, if you're anybody is welcome to come in. I don't just
Mama Creepy, you get the best cracks. Oh, cool. Bye, bye, boom. I've seen that. I still don't get it. We don't get it either, but it's abusing. So I think we might have missed some up here.
So Starshine said again, traction, what does it say? I tried traction with a towel, but my lower legs feel like there's someone tapping on them. Feels like nerves are torn. My
Sorry.
right. So the disc is actually glued to the end plate. And so based on injury to those discs, there are wounds and tears in the annular fibers that hold that disc material in, right? You just, I wish I could give you better advice. I can't really say on how every type of injury is a little bit different. Sometimes you might want to just ice and stabilize and just leave it alone. So sometimes any care on the area is going to be too upsetting, even if it's traction. So you have to divert pressure, and depending on how severe an injury is, you might have to start far away. You might have to start in the upper back, and then as your care progresses, you might be able to get closer and closer to that area. But I wouldn't give up. Try to find the good news, Starshine, is that there's probably other parts of your back that aren't injured, and that's what I would try to recommend you look for. Try to find care that is focused on the uninjured areas, and instead of trying to do something, traction or manipulation, to the ones that are injured, focus on trying to work around the problem. Good.
Yeah. Let's just see.
I think I understand Starshine. Yeah, I mean, I understand. It just even that decompression can. So the disc is wrapped in like blankets, and when you're tractioning, the annulus is the sheet that wraps that nucleus. And if there's tears in that, that could be upsetting the disc. So I would, depending on how injured an area is, a more precautious way would just be to ice it and then work elsewhere, try to divert pressure.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for coming. I think
And
we're
I
going
think
to.
we're gonna have to start
We're wrapping
closing
it up.
up, but we
But-
appreciate everyone.
Yes, thank you
for-
so much. This is fun.
Yeah, I guess be on the lookout for merchandise in the new
Yeah,
year at
yeah.
some point. If you have any suggestions about what kind of merchandise you guys like, whether
Yeah.
it's a hat, a t-shirt, do you want to see? We have slogans in mind. We're designing different things, but
Yeah.
but put it in the comments somewhere. Again, if you don't follow on Instagram, go check
Yeah,
that
check
out
us out.
because it's fun. You get to see behind the scenes, you get to see reels, different side to him. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe.
Please, yeah, tell your friends.
Yes,
Really
we
appreciate all the support.
everyone. Yeah,
Thank you so much for all.
watching.
It's been really fun.
Yeah.
And thank you for coming. Everybody that came, everybody that's watching right now, thank you so much for joining us. And yes,
Yeah.
please have a Merry Christmas, Happy
Yes,
holidays.
Merry
and
Christmas to everyone.
Stay safe, everybody.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
We
Good
love
night,
y'all.
guys.
Have
Thank
a good
you.
Stay safe, and I got you.